Silence is never truly absolute. In the dead of night, the structures we inhabit begin to speak in a language of creaks and groans. But there is one sound that stands apart from the ambient noise of a settling foundation: the distinct, rhythmic sound of a door being struck or a handle turning when no physical hand is present. This phenomenon, colloquially known as the phantom knock, has been reported across cultures and centuries, serving as a chilling reminder that our sense of security is often an illusion. Tonight, we analyze the intersection of physics, psychology, and the unexplained. To understand the fear, we must first look at the environment. An isolated house serves as a resonant chamber for every external vibration. Wind pressure, changes in humidity, and the cooling of building materials after a warm day can cause wood to contract and expand. When a doorframe shifts by even a millimeter, the tension released can mimic the sound of a sharp rap or a slow, agonizing creak. To the analytical mind, this is merely thermodynamics. However, to a person sitting alone in the dark, these mechanical adjustments take on a far more sinister character, sounding like an uninvited guest demanding entry.
There is a specific psychological state triggered by these sounds. Humans are evolutionarily hardwired to detect patterns, specifically the sounds of other humans. This is a survival mechanism. When we hear 3 distinct knocks, our brain bypasses logical explanations and immediately searches for a source. This hyperactive agency detection device makes us attribute intention to random events. We don't just hear a sound, we hear a who. This heightened state of alertness causes the heart rate to spike and the pupils to dilate, preparing the body for a confrontation that might not even exist. Consider the phenomenon of exploding head syndrome or auditory hallucinations during the transition from wakefulness to sleep. Many individuals report hearing a loud bang or a door slamming just as they drift off. These are not external events, but internal neurological glitches. The brain's sensory processing centers misfire, creating a vivid perception of sound that is indistinguishable from reality. When these events occur, the victim often searches their home, convinced that an intruder has breached their perimeter. They find every door locked, yet the memory of the sound remains as sharp as a physical wound. Beyond the biological, we find the realm of documented anomalies. In 1972, a series of police reports in an English suburb detailed calls from residents claiming their front doors were being struck by heavy objects at precisely 3 a.m. In every instance, responding officers found the porches empty and no footprints in the damp grass. These accounts move beyond the realm of simple house settling. They suggest a pattern of behavior, an intelligence, or a localized atmospheric disturbance that mimics human interaction. When a door sounds on its own, it challenges our fundamental understanding of the physical world around us.
Cultural folklore offers its own grim interpretations. In various traditions, 3 knocks with no one there are seen as a death knock, an omen that the boundary between life and the afterlife has become porous. Whether it is a psychological projection or a spiritual warning, the sound of a door operating by itself serves as a powerful archetype in horror. It represents the loss of control over one's own sanctuary. The door is the barrier between the known world and the chaos outside. When that barrier makes noise without a visible cause, the internal logic of the home is fundamentally broken. Modern technology has only deepened the mystery. With the rise of smart home cameras and doorbell monitors, we now have hours of footage showing doors opening or knocking sounds being recorded while the visual sensor detects no movement. Engineers suggest digital artifacts or interference as the culprit, but for those who witness the physical latch move on camera, the explanation feels hollow. There is a profound disconnect between what we can explain through data and what we experience through our senses. The digital eye sees nothing, yet the microphone records the heavy impact of wood on wood. In the isolation of a quiet house, the mind becomes a theater of the macabre. Every sound is magnified. A door that swings open an inch due to an air pressure imbalance becomes a spectral invitation. The analytical observer might note the air conditioning kicking on, creating a vacuum that pulls the door from its seat. But as the door creaks, the human heart responds with an ancient dread. We are descendants of those who survived by being afraid of the dark. To ignore the sound of a door moving is to ignore a potential threat, and so we remain paralyzed by the auditory phantom. The rhythmic knock is perhaps the most disturbing variation. Random creaks are easy to dismiss, but a rhythmic 1-2-3 sequence implies intent. It suggests that something on the other side knows you are there and is waiting for a response. In behavioral psychology, this is known as a demand characteristic. The sound demands an action, opening the door. The tension lies in the hesitation. Do you investigate and prove there is nothing there, or do you remain behind the locked wood, acknowledging that there might be something your eyes cannot see? The door becomes a threshold of fear. Architectural anomalies also play a significant role. In older homes, the ghost door is a known issue, where gravity and misaligned hinges cause a door to swing shut or open on its own. This is a matter of simple geometry, yet when combined with the quiet atmosphere of a late night, the physical reality is overshadowed by the narrative our minds create. We tell ourselves stories to fill the gaps in our knowledge. If a door moves, we invent a ghost. If it knocks, we invent a visitor. These stories are the foundation of urban legends that persist across generations, evolving with each new witness. As we conclude our investigation into the sounds that haunt our homes, we are left with a choice. We can accept the scientific reality of shifting wood, air pressure, and neurological glitches, or we can acknowledge that there are moments when the world is stranger than we care to admit. The sound of a door knocking by itself remains one of the most potent triggers for human fear because it attacks our sense of privacy and safety. It is a reminder that even behind locked doors, we are never truly alone with our thoughts. The house is alive, and sometimes it wants us to know it. The next time you hear a sound from the hallway in the middle of the night, remember that your mind is your own worst enemy, or your best protector. Whether it is the wind or something more, the mystery of the phantom door remains unsolved. Thank you for joining us on this analytical journey into the dark. If you have experienced the unexplainable, share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the mysteries that hide in plain sight. Keep your doors locked and stay curious.